All right, ladies, I'm so excited for us to be here tonight and do some strategic planning for this season. And if you are in my SED lineage as a leader, or if you're in my Generation Zero, I have already mailed a copy of this to you. But if you're not, I will still post it on our lineage page and our training page as well. So that way you'll have a copy. Basically, kind of what got started for me was I looked at my calendar for this season and realized that I needed to do some revamping and some changing. And I wanted to really have a plan. I've always kind of felt like a fly-by-the-seat kind of my pants leader. And I decided that needed to change because this year, even with home office and 31, at Leadership Council, they admitted that they had made some mistakes by being kind of fly by the seat of their pants, and definitely by rolling out so many changes. So I've decided the best thing for me and the best thing I feel like for my team is to go back to just the basics. You know, we've got to get back to brass tacks as far as our businesses go, and the best way to do that is to have a plan. So the first thing that I did was I got my calendar and decided to create a monthly planning calendar. And I wanted to send this out to everyone just so they would have it in their hands. The calendars that I made for my team are on the kind of legal size, so they have some space to write at the bottom. And I gave a monthly plan. It's a 3-2-1 plan, 3 conversations a day. That may be in person, text, or phone call. 2 recruits per month, and that if you recruit 2 a month, that keeps your team growing. If you recruit 1 a month, generally that keeps your team maintaining. So by getting 2 a month, you're growing. For some of you, this may be the first time you've ever recruited. It may be, a new start for you as far as that goes. So I just want you to know it's very doable. All of our training for our team that I'll start rolling out this coming week will be on booking, selling, and recruiting. And we're just going to repeat. It's kind of like that shampoo bottle, rinse and repeat. So we're going to definitely do that. How to have conversations, how to recruit, and how to book. So I really, really, really think that is so important for our team moving forward into 2016 for our building year and our growth year is to get back to these basics for sure. So on the calendar, it says 3 conversations a day, 2 recruits per month, 1 party per week. Now, I know that for me, 1 party a week, is a stretch because I had gotten so accustomed to just doing 2 to 3 parties a month. And I really, really, really wanted to get back to 1 party a week. Now, I'm very proud to say, after just a couple hours on the phone, I now have 9 parties booked for February. And it is basically because I was tired of looking at my calendar and praying no one canceled. Now with 9 bookings, if someone cancels, it's not going to kill my business. Before, if I didn't have those 2 to 3 solid bookings, if one canceled, it was a death sentence for my business, and it wasn't really going in the direction that I wanted it to. But if you look at the calendar, it says, mark your party dates on your calendar. These may be days you want to party or you've already scheduled parties. Check your conversation tracker for each day. And so I'm just going to put a tick mark in each one of my trackers, and I have the conversation bubble on there. It says Sundays are for catching up and reflection. Now, I usually do training on Sundays just because it doesn't interfere with anybody's weekly plans. I try to do them at 8 o'clock at night, my time. That's when I'm home from church. And that's when I seem to have the most participation. The other days of the week, there's always something else that comes up. So Sunday works best for me, but it's also for catching up. If I'm behind on something, if I'm behind on my conversations, on Sundays, I generally see a good bit of people, so I can have those conversations. Or it's time for me to reflect. What did I do last week? How did I do? Is there something I need to change for next week? It may be time that I'm reading my Bible study. I mean, there's just so many different things on Sunday that you need to do to reflect on the previous week or to catch up. This is a new spring catalog month, so you want to set yourself up for success by committing to this plan. And I have a little calendar here. It has 2 recruits at the bottom for you to circle or color in when you have them. And also it has the conversation tracker. You can see where you can mark your days. And of course, all the Sundays are blank. And then I wanted to put the picture of the monthly specials here, because if this calendar is in front of me, I don't have to go searching for what the monthly special is. So I wanted to make it very deliberate and intentional. So this is the calendar. I just wanted you to see it. For those of you who haven't received it in the mail already, like I said, I'll post it and you'll have a copy. You can print it yourself if you'd like to. But I really want this to be something that's going in the hands of my team. So I want you to feel free to share that with your team as well. When I post it, you can download it. You can share it with your team. You can print it for yourself. But I really want you to think about committing to that. I think it's going to make a huge difference because it is a plan. It's not just flying by the seat of your pants like I always feel like I'm doing for sure. Now, one thing that I did also is I printed a PDF copy of the catalog. You can take apart a catalog if you want to. I've done that before. But this time I decided to print one just because I didn't have all my catalogs in yet. So I wanted a copy. So I printed one, and you can print this from 31 Today. And I plan on I haven't done it yet. I plan on putting this in a notebook that I can take to my parties. And I'm going to have it in those little plastic sleeves, so that way it's my copy. And then if I have that, then I can make notes in there. If something goes on discontinue, if something's on stop sale, I can do that. But I also want to include in that notebook a copy of whatever the monthly special is for that particular month that I'm partying. Since I have 9 parties booked now for February, I want to make sure that I'm prepared. So actually tomorrow, in the morning before this end of season sale goes live, I plan to work in my office and get this stuff organized. So I'm working on a real plan. I wanted to show you also just my calendar. And everybody needs a planner, whether you use a planner on your computer, whether you use a planner on your phone. If you don't have a planner, you're not going to plan anything because it's going to be so just willy-nilly and random. So I actually use the one from Staples. I'm going to show mine to you. It's the ARC system. It has a little special hole puncher that you can use, but it helps me plan for my business. So I want to show you just kind of a flyby of January. All right, so here's my January. You can see it. I hold up and down. With my January, I'm very intentional about scheduling parties as far as how I want it to look. So I have some little pink Post-it tags, and I put them on the days that I want to party. When they're blank, I know I need to fill them. So I can pick the days that I can have home parties, and I have those in. Now, one thing that I really want to stress to you, and something that I really had to bring home to me, was it's okay if every party you have is not a home party. I've always been real committed to the home party situation. That's where I've always seen the most success. And keep in mind, that's probably still going to ring true for you. But I decided that I would rather be in front of people virtually than not in front of people at all. To grow my business, it's important to be in front of people. To grow your business, it's important to be in front of people. The more people you're in front of, the more your business grows. So I knew that I was going to have to change something about my own mindset about partying. So what my plan is for each month, and just to kind of let you know how that goes, to have my 4 parties a month. If 4 home parties are not an option, because, it depends on where you live, I want to have 1 Facebook party a month, 1 catalog party a month, 1 home party a month, 1 fundraiser a month. So those are 4 party options. Now, if I can't have 4 home parties, those are the 4 I want to have. Okay. I know that is kind of a crazy plan. It's definitely a departure from the norm for me, but it's something that I'm trying to work. And so in February, when I went on, first of all, I have my team retreat in February. It is at the end of February, so I knew that I had to get all my parties in before or by the, 23rd of the month. So I reached out to some people that had said they wanted to party with me but never had time to have a home party. And I booked immediately 4 Facebook parties. I was stunned actually by that, because these are people that I had never, I had pursued parties with, but I had never pushed it any further than just offering the home party, because that was so ingrained in my brain. And while that is still, like I said, the ideal party, because you are face to face with people, I would rather, yet again, be virtually in front of people than not in front of them at all. So I'm actually going to work this week on my Facebook party plan. I'm going to do some videos, heartfelt videos from me about 31 the business, about our products. I'm going to use my new spring stuff when it gets here from my, I already got my add-on kit, but from my, Ready Set Sail. Sorry. Can't remember what I'm talking about. My Ready Set Sail kit. And so I'm going to use those to do a little party demo and share those little tidbit videos as my Facebook party. Mainly because it's still face-to-face interaction, even though it's through the computer. I even thought about a Zoom party would be kind of cool, but, I don't want to hold people captive on a Zoom like that when it comes to parties. With Facebook, they can go back and forth. And at the end of the Facebook party, I'll give the link to the party for the hostess. First of all, it's a win-win for me. I'm in front of people. I'm virtually out there. I have reached out to these ladies. I have worked my customer service, my pink glove service, because I've hostess coached these women just like I'm doing a home party. I've sent them a packet. I've included information about the business opportunity. I've told them how many people to invite. I mean, I've gone through those same things as if it's a home party. It's just a party from their home in their PJs if they want to. So I have those already set up. I've already got the party set up. Everything is there and ready to go. Those work for me. In February, I also have two home parties. I have 2 catalog parties, 1 fundraiser, and 1 hostess of the month club party. So that's kind of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, so 9 bookings for February. And it's all because I decided to open my mind and get rid of that mindset that everything has to be live and in person, because it's just not going to happen. And, yet again, I'd virtually like to be in front of people if I can't be in front of them realistically. So this is the best way to do it. The Hostess of the Month Club, we had a training on that on our Lineage page last month. So if you haven't had a chance to look at that, feel free to go back and check that out if you'd like to. So that way you can see what that's all about. Now, going forward, each month I'll create this calendar plan, and each time that I'm working with my team, that I'm training, that I'm working on what my monthly plan is, I'm going to refer back to this calendar. I want this calendar in the hands of my team. I want this calendar in the hands of my leaders, and I want it to be something that we work together and build a mindset on our team that we can do this together. There's nothing like a ship when it's all being rowed in the same direction, because if everybody's paddling a different paddle in a different direction, you're just going in circles. So with this particular thing, if we're all rowing the same way, we're all in that same boat, and we're all rowing the same direction, we're going to get somewhere. And I want us to get somewhere together, building together. With this particular plan, it's not hard. 3 conversations a day. I mean, on average, unless you're at home by yourself all day, with absolutely no one else around you, you're not really having conversations. But that's why I said these can be Facebook conversations, these can be texts, these can be phone calls, or in person. So I'm having to open my particular mindset and realize that it can be different. It doesn't have to be all live and in person. So with that, I started looking at my March, and I went with March and decided, that I would try to book March up. So I got my February booked, and I decided to work on March. Fortunately, in my hostess open house at Christmas, I offered a little incentive for them to rebook for the spring. And I had 2 of my hostesses that came rebook for the spring. I had 1 hostess who joined my team, or actually 2 who joined my team. So that kind of took them out of the game, of course, which is fine with me because I want them on my team. But I worked with two ladies, and I'm working with them again. I offered one Facebook party. I have my Hostess of the Month party already. And then I also had a lady who had approached me about coming to her Pampered Chef party. She's a Pampered Chef consultant, and I've always loved their stuff. And she's doing a quick and healthy cooking class. And so I decided that I wanted to have her come here and do some quick and healthy meals with me. Well, then who better than to invite some of my friends to come over who have said the same thing. They need food they can cook quickly and food that's healthy for their family. So I'm having a little get together with some of my friends locally. But in the meantime, I asked her, hey, have you ever hosted a 31 party? And she's never hosted any other party besides Pampered Chef because that's what she does. And so now we've decided to party swap, which I think is phenomenal. I am doing mine first with her. So I actually meet with her tomorrow. We're going to swap hostess packets. I'm going to give her hers. She's going to give me mine. But I'm going to let her do the coaching first tomorrow because her party's not till March. I have time to coach her later. And I plan on building a relationship with her and following up with her because she's the consultant for my party. So, just to kind of get all this going, I'm really, 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 really trying to try different angles. Because, what's worked in the past still works sometimes, but it's starting to change. The way we communicate and the way that we party is changing. And if we don't change with those times, we're going to get left behind. And I don't want to be left behind in my business. I want it to continue growing. So I've worked with them already. And, I've looked at my calendar. I know what's possible. I know, and I've booked these things around my family schedule. In March, we have spring break. And then the last week of March, I'm going on a school trip to Washington, D.C. with my son, who's in 5th grade. So I know that the first 3 weeks of March, I have to get all my parties in because the last 2 weeks, I don't have time. I won't be here. So I have to get those things done. And most people here, locally here in my town, they get out of town for spring break. I don't know why, but it seems like our community, they're big on vacating for spring break. So whether they just go camping or whether they go to the beach or whatever they're doing, our ball teams usually play in a tournament away during spring break at the beach. And so I'm trying to make sure that I book my schedule to accommodate that. So I'm only going to party the first 3 weeks, but I've got to get those parties in. And so far right now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 so far for March. I want to have more, and I plan on having more, especially after my February, because my plan is to book 2 parties from every party that I have in February. So yet again, another plan. So, I know that's a lot of information to throw at you at one time by giving so many numbers. And I'm not a numbers person, so I don't want to do that. But I have a personal goal. My personal goal is 2 recruits a month. And originally my personal goal was 4 parties a month, which it still is. But I think I'm going to increase that to 6. And this is what I have posted on my my personal profile on my back office. And $1,800 a month in sales. Now, if I have 9 parties, if I had 9 average parties, which are $600, which let's kind of look at that. I'm terrible with math, so let's see, what would that be? $3,600. 9 times 600. Yeah. Oh, sorry. $5,400. I'm terrible. I told you I was terrible at math. So if I look at that, and let's say each party I had was average, that's $5,400 in sales. Now, I know that's probably, not going to happen. I'm realistic enough to know that. If those catalog parties just reach 200, if my Facebook parties just reach 200, I'm still going to be above my $1,800 mark because, that's just the law of averages, basically how that works. But I just want you to understand that I haven't always had a plan. Unfortunately, I haven't. I did as a teacher, had a lesson plan. I taught for 13 years. English and theater, always had a lesson plan. I've always had kind of a skeleton business plan, but never really anything set in stone. And so I have started out this year with a total different mindset. I want to have a business plan for my team. I want to have them do 3 conversations a day, 2 recruits a month, and 1 party a week. I personally, want to have 2 recruits a month. I just think that's so important for building and growing. I want to have more parties. That is what business I'm in. Whether it's, like I said, I'm partying face-to-face, I'm partying computer-to-computer, I'm partying by host of the month. Hello. I can hear myself talking in there, Heather.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. I just think it's funny.
We're trying to learn how to do this, and I didn't even know if I could get connected. I didn't mean to stop everything. Sorry.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to mute you, okay? So I do actually want to kind of stop there and see if y'all have any questions. So if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask. If you have anything you want to know about, if there's anything I can show you, anything I can tell you. But I want us all to be on the same page. I want us to work together as a team on this plan. 3 conversations a day, 2 recruits a month, 1 party per week. So if there's any questions you may have or any comments you may have, any suggestions you may have, if there's any particular training you want to see, let me know. I am going to, like I said, we're going to do team training, book, sell, recruit. Most of that will be done either through video training, like Zoom, or to be done through Facebook training. So we can work on all this kind of stuff together, but I want us to work together. So anything you have that you want to add, ask, or comment, just go ahead and unmute yourself, or you can chat and I can read that out loud. All right, Tracy says, I want to set a concrete business plan too. How do you keep from getting overwhelmed? I feel like there are so many things to juggle. Tracy, I could not agree with you more. And I can tell you that that's one reason why I came up with this calendar. It is too many things to juggle. But as a young leader, as a leader, period, while you need to focus on your team, you also still need to maintain a focus on your personal business. So that's why I say 3 conversations a day, 2 recruits a month, 1 party a week, because that keeps your personal business solid. The best thing you can do for your team is to have a solid personal business. So I would say start there, Tracy. Definitely, working from that. Then once you've got that solid team growing and they're recruiting, and they're having these conversations and they're partying, then let's think about some other things. It's up to your upline, like me, or other people in your upline, to help with the training part. So, whatever team you have, you invite them to join whatever we're doing. That's why I like to send invites to anything that our NED is doing. When she's doing a training, I try to make sure to post that. I'm actually going to post a call series on our page later that some other NEDs in the company are doing. And it is a way just to kind of help you dream and help you think about the business on a bigger scale. I want to personally commit to training your team on booking, selling, and recruiting. So I would say invite any of your recruits to that at any point. So, I think that we can really work together on all of that. And if somebody has something that they're doing really well, please volunteer, share it on our page, post any documents there that you're using, so that way we can learn from each other. We can glean information from each other, but we're not always having to recreate the wheel, because if somebody's already got it done, there's no need for us to redo it. Theirs is probably perfectly fine. You may want to change it with graphics or add your name or whatever like that. But if we can share that information, I think that's going to make a huge difference to us. It seems like so many times our training page has always kind of been whatever I put out there. And I'm not saying that I might have given off the vibe that you couldn't share. And I hope that that's not the case, because I want us to be a sharing group. I want us to be willing to give information to each other, because we're all working this boat together. You know, we're all trying to steer in the right direction. And the best way to do that is if we're sharing and being open about it. If you have team that you want to invite to our lineage page, I have a team success story page. That page is open to anybody in our lineage. I don't have just a G0 page. The reason why, it's just too much for me to keep up with. I know this week there was a conversation on our leadership group, like our SCD page, and somebody said, do you have a, you know, do you only have a G0 page, or do you have a lineage page, or what do you have? And anything that I have to say or I have to share, I am perfectly fine with sharing with anybody, anywhere in my lineage. It does not have to be somebody who's just my generation 0. Because if I'm taking the time to put it out there, whoever's reading it is fine with me. So that's why I want us to really work together to share, you know, as much as we can. I know Debbie Miller's on here, and her son's doing homeschool behind her, so she turned her camera off. But Debbie is phenomenal with graphics and computer things, and she creates some wonderful tools, and I love seeing her stuff. She does such a fantastic job. And so, you know, I can learn from her in so many ways, and it may be that we can get her to join us and share one night, you know, some things that are working for her, because she does just the cutest things as far as graphics and promotion. She just knows what to do, and I'm blown away by that, because I'm totally not the graphics person. I'm a teacher, and I can borrow bulletin board ideas from anybody, but I'm not always the one to come up with that kind of stuff electronically. A lot of it's because when I sit down to my computer, I don't have extra time to do that. And I know Debbie, she's got kids, she's homeschooling, she's short on time too, but she finds a way to do it, and it's really phenomenal. So thank you so much, Debbie, for doing that, because it's inspiring to me to see that, and to be able to use her information, and to be able to glean, you know, just that knowledge from that, because she does such great work. So all of us, you know, have our own individual talents and things that we're good at. And I think when we pull all that together, we are a powerhouse team, you know, and we can definitely move mountains with that power, for sure. So I know that this year is going to be an amazing, phenomenal year for us in growth. And one reason why I even wanted to wait till now to do this strategic planning is because this is for our season. You know, we start a new catalog next week, and that is where our fuel comes from. Y'all know how it is at the end of a catalog season. People kind of run out of steam. But that February 1st day, as soon as that catalog starts again, we have a renewed spirit in our company. We do every time. And it just changes so many things very quickly. You know, we've had a ton of people join our team starting January 21st, because we had that new kit. And one lady is on with us tonight. Her name's Heather Jewell, and she joined us this week. And Heather was a consultant in the past when we didn't have all the great support stuff we have now. So she's coming back to us, and I'm so thrilled that she's coming back. And, you know, she's one of my personal recruits. I'm committed to making sure that she's successful. Hey, Heather, there she is. And so I'm committed to her. You know, we're business partners now, and I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I possibly can to set her up for success. And when you recruit someone, that's how it needs to be. I know that we've had, I don't want to say it this way, but that's the only way I can say it. We've had a kind of a mindset in the past that we don't want to handhold. We don't want to hold people's hand and lead them through the business. But honestly, y'all, this is what we have to do. When we partner with someone as a new consultant, they are brand new. And even if they've done other direct sales companies, it's not like the culture of 31. We need to walk with our business partners side by side to get them through a great start. That's where our business is going to change. When we start working with our new consultants to help them grow. Because if we don't, then they're going to fizzle out. In fact, there are a lot of statistics with the company that show that our consultants who reach all 4 levels of Start Swell end up moving on to leadership. And ultimately, we want all of our new consultants to become leaders. that's our plan. We want them to become leaders because that's going to help our business grow. And when someone becomes a leader on your team, that is empowering for a woman to be a leader. I can't even begin to tell you what it did for me to become a leader, but it does phenomenal things to a woman's self-esteem. It does phenomenal things to her business. She is now duplicating herself by teaching others how to become a leader. And, when you give women that autonomy to grow and to become leaders, it changes the face of our company. So I just, want to encourage you definitely, when you bring on a new consultant, you walk by her side by side and help her grow her business. Show her how to hostess coach. Show her how to book parties. Show her how to recruit, and give her a plan. Give her a calendar. Give her something that helps her have something in her hand that shows her how she can grow her team and how she can build her business. Because the kit's cute and great and fine and wonderful, but it doesn't do anything if it sits in the box. So, if you've got that business plan, and if you've got a business in a box, then open it and do something with it. And I think that we're going to see a huge change in our company when we start partnering with our women and becoming real business partners with them, and not just saying, I'm so glad you got your box, I'll see you in a year. I think it's important that we really partner with them to help them grow. Because when we leave them behind, when we leave them aside, we have done nothing for them except let them buy a kit. We've lost a customer, in all honesty. If someone's just going to buy a kit, I'd rather them stay a customer and hostess, because what are they going to do? Nothing. They've bought a box, and that's it. So I just think that's hugely important. And I'm going to step off my soapbox now, so y'all can go ahead and ask some more questions or have comments if you have any. Y'all feel free to unmute and ask, or you can post on the group chat. If y'all can see where to do that, there's a little chat box at the bottom. Zoom is kind of new, so.
You can talk now.
Hey, Heather, you're unmuted now.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, I'm just trying to listen. We just got home from church, and I'm typing, and we're helping the kids with homework. So
Sure.
I'll type questions I have as we go along, but
Okay.
just say hi to everybody, and then I'll mute myself because the kids are being loud. And
I understand. If I wasn't in my office, it'd be the same way here. So it's quiet.
Parker thinks he's gonna, I don't know what he thinks. So anyway, but I'm listening, and I'm stepping back and forth in front of the camera. So
That's okay.
If I think of something, or if I get a question that comes up, I will certainly ask.
Please do. Okay, anybody else have something to ask or a comment? Jump on in. Hey, Janine, you're welcome. I'm glad you're here tonight. Here's somebody that's just by phone, 865-643-2046. You have a comment or question? All right, Tracy. You said you want some advice or guidance on hostess coaching. Says, I've tried focusing more on this last year, but I feel like I have a long way to go. Absolutely. I think hostess coaching is something that can always be improved. I know for me personally, it's really helped when I look at my hostess as a partner as well. I know I talked about partnering with your new consultants, but I would also partner with your hostess and really, send her packet if you didn't give it to her in person. Then call her. Typically, our hostess coaching plan is 3 phone calls or 1 in-person meeting and 2 phone calls. The first one that you meet with her is, to set her date for her party. And that may be at a party already. I don't know. It depends on how it kind of comes about. Make sure she's got like a little hostess packet with her that has our hostess flyer. And go through all that, what this monthly special is, if you have any order forms in your packet, if you have other information in your packet. You want to make sure you go over that with her. Then your next talk can be, how many people are you planning to invite? Now, that's one thing I didn't really touch on as far as the February plan, because hostess coaching kind of goes along with that. Every hostess has a different idea about what she wants from her party. So the best thing to do is ask, what would you like to see at your party, or what would you like to happen at your party? Is this a time for you to get together with your friends because you haven't seen each other since before the holidays? And kind of go from there. It depends on, kind of what she wants. And then find out how many guests she wants to invite. Help her with the invitations if she needs help. I know personally I like to do the invitations. And I like to mail them out because then I know if they're already mailed, the hostess really isn't going to cancel most of the time because I've already sent them. I know sometimes that is easier for the hostess to do, but when I put it in the hostess's hands, sometimes they don't mail them. And then it's easier for them to say, oh, well, I don't think anybody's coming, so I'm going to cancel my party. But if you say, well, I've already mailed your invites. Has anybody told you they're not coming? Or how many people have said they are coming? But if she knows the invites have already gone out, she's probably not going to cancel. The next thing that I do is I encourage the hostess to text or call all her guests that she really wants there. And you can call them her VIPs, VIGs, very important guests, or very important girls, or very important people, however you want to use it. But I like to make sure to do that. Now, I do have a couple other things that I can post on our training page that I've used. One's called Secret Girlfriend, and some of you may have heard of that before. It's where the hostess recruits an additional guest to be the secret girlfriend at the party. The secret girlfriend commits to bring in $100 in orders, and when she does that, I give her some kind of discount, either free shipping or a free monogram or 10% off or something like that, just as an incentive. And so the secret girlfriend, nobody else knows who she is but me. And we don't make that anything broadcasted at the party because I wouldn't want somebody to get their feelings hurt. But just the hostess, just the secret girlfriend, and I know that she brought those orders. And only if she brings $100 in orders does she get that extra little bonus, whatever I've decided is hers. And it can be something very simple. But one thing I have found is that the secret girlfriend a lot of times will book a party of her own. She's already collected $100 in orders. Why not have a party? She knows how to do it. So you're kind of setting that up to help you get another hostess as well because she's already helped. And let's just say, that she collected more than $100 in orders. Well, then it may be that she and the hostess decide to share the party, split the party, however that may go. So just keep that in mind. There's some things like that you can do. Some people do hostess scavenger hunt or hostess bingo. I've never seen those. I've heard of them, but I've never done them. But mainly, I want to work with the hostess to make the party as simple, as easy, and as fun as possible. And when I'll say you can have just a few little snacks if you want to, or we can meet at a restaurant if you want to, just to try to make it simple, easy, and fun. And that's kind of how it is with my hostess when I work with them. I want it to be something simple and something easy and something fun. And that's one reason why I do the invitations, just to make it simpler on her. Plus, I send her a little spreadsheet, and it has all the information for her guests. So now I have a guest's phone number, I have a guest's email, I have guest names, and I can be responsible for sending that information out. One thing that I tried last year that really worked was called PhoneVite, and it's from phonevite.com. It's a free service. If you only invite a certain number of people, the more your contact list grows. Of course, may cost you money, but for the most part, it was free. And I just did a little recording that said, hey, this is Kane Story. I'm so excited that you're coming to so-and-so's party. She can't wait to see you. You are one of her very important guests. She said the party would not be the same without you. And hope to see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And then I plug in the phone numbers on that computer program, and it sends those automatically to those guests. And when they answer the phone, it's my voice. I tell them who I am. I tell them whose party they've been invited to, what time it is. So it's another way to remind them about the party. Most people don't come to the party because they forgot. I mean, that's just a pure and simple thing. Most people don't show up because they have forgotten. Or, if they forget, they're usually somebody who said they're coming or they might come and then they just don't show, but it's because they forgot. If you don't have something that reminds them, and then I even have the hostess, sometimes I'll say, can you text them the day of the party and remind your guests, whether she does or not, I don't know, but at least if I have that guest list, I know I have the contact information and I have at least contacted those guests in at least 3 ways. So they've gotten their invite from my back office, they've gotten their phone invite from me, and they've gotten something in the mail. And sometimes we do a multiple approach where the hostess tells me, okay, this person would probably rather be called or texted. This person probably will want something in the mail, and this person's fine with email. So then, I don't want to bombard people with a lot of information if they don't need it. So that's another hostess coaching conversation you can have with her. And I'll post the spreadsheet too. Let me write that down or I'll forget to do it. Whenever I share this calendar, let's see. Sorry, I got to find something to write on my desk. You think I could find something here, but it's a total disaster right now. So, all right, so I'm going to share the spreadsheet for the hostess. I'm going to share the calendar. And I'm going to share Secret Girlfriend. Okay. Does anybody else have something to ask or something to say? Anybody? Feel free to jump in. All right, we're going to stop our recording and just end where we are tonight. And if there's any other questions, feel free to post them on our training page. I'm going to post these 3 things real fast. So that way you'll have those as files on that page. If you have something you're using that's working, anybody have a hostess coaching checklist, feel free to share it. We would love to see it and get that together. I would love to see you using this calendar, especially passing it on to your teams so they can work on getting 3 conversations, 2 recruits a month, 1 party a week. And I am so thankful that you were here tonight. I'm especially thankful that after some business reflection, that, there was a need definitely to change my mindset. I hope that change in me will be reflected in you. Through something that you might change or something that you might do that works better for you. I know what I was doing wasn't working, so it was time to make a change. And this change is something that's definitely already changed my business just for next month. I mean, I don't even know if I've ever had 9 bookings on my calendar for 1 month. And so while some of them are unconventional, you know what? Sometimes unconventional works. And I need it to work for me. And I need that. I needed a change, and I needed something to be unconventional to light that fire back under me about my business. I haven't lost faith in the business. I haven't lost hope in what the business can do. That was never, ever, ever a question. But I think I had lost sight of who I was in my business and what role I play in my business. And it was time to take the reins back and just realize that this is mine. Through the grace of God, it's mine. And if I'm going to keep it that way, then I needed to get to work. So feel free to ask me anything, anytime. Call me, text me, post on our Facebook group, email me, message me, however you need to get to me. I am ready, willing, and able to assist you in any way possible. So I hope this call or this group chat has helped tonight with Zoom, and we'll schedule our next one pretty soon. So we'll be doing booking, selling, recruiting. So if you have any team you want to invite, add them to our Lineage training page, and we'll get that done. So we'll probably do booking. I may do a booking video tomorrow. So look for that to come soon. And I hope you have a great night, and we'll see you later. Bye.